So for this subject, I chose crime scene investigation. The crime scene investigation is without a doubt the most important crime scene a police officer or investigator will be called upon to respond to. Because of the nature of the crime, it can only be determined after a careful and intelligent examination of the crime scene and after professional and medical evaluation of various bits and pieces of medical evidence gathered by the criminal investigator. These bits and pieces can be in forms of traces of evidence found at the scene, statements taken from the suspects, direct eyewitness accounts, and autopsy results. Homicide investigation is a highly professional and specialized undertaking which requires years of practical experience, coupled with the process of continual education and training. However, homicide investigation is not the exclusive purview of the investigator. Successful homicide investigation often depends on the initial actions taken by patrol officers responding to any given scene. The objective of this article is to address the important initial actions that must be taken under homicide crime scene investigation. There are three basic principles involved in homicide crime scene investigation. Number one, rapid response to the homicide crime scene by patrol officers. This is imperative in order to protect evidentiary materials before they are destroyed, altered, or lost. Anything and everything, number two, should be considered as evidence. Whether this evidence is physical or testimonial, it must be preserved, noted, and brought to the attention to the investigators. The only evidence collected at this point of the investigation is eyewitness accounts or spontaneous statements of the suspect at the scene. After the scene is secured, immediate and appropriate notification must be made to homicide investigators. Number three, the importance of preserving the homicide crime scene and conducting an intelligent examination at the scene cannot be overemphasized. If a murder case ends in failure or an officer is embraced in court, the primary reason may very well be that inadequate examination of the homicide crime scene or failure to implement good basic crime scene procedures as outlined. Any item can be substituted as physical evidence. Therefore, it is imperative that nothing can be touched or moved at the crime scene. If the need arises, that is at some crime scenes, it may be immediately secured or removed before it is destroyed or lost. The officer handling the evidence must document its location, appearance, and condition, and any other feature that it might affect the investigation. The officer must be sure to inform the homicide detective of the item's original position so that it does not lose its evidentiary value. The crime scene, especially in homicide cases, is proof that a crime scene has been committed. It often contains many or all elements of different things and provides abundance of physical evidence that may connect the suspect or suspects to a crime. If you can control the primary crime scene, you can control the investigation. The reason why homicide investigation starts at primary crime scene is because of two reasons. Number one, the police officers are usually called to this location by the person who discovers the body, a witness to the crime, or in some instances, the victim. Number two, in homicide cases, the location where the body is discovered yields an abundance of physical evidence and serves as a base of the inquiry. Number three, it is important to repeat anything and everything that may become evidence. The list of items may constitute a physical or testimonial evidence, and also cases of the homicide itself. Whether it is different types of things that regards to the suspect of the murder at the scene or an important trace of evidence, the fact remains that primary crime scene is a logical and proper point to start the murder investigation. The homicide crime scene must be protected from entry by unnecessary or unauthorized persons so that physical evidence will not be moved, altered, destroyed, lost, or contaminated. Other police officers, including supervisory personnel who do not have specific or valid reason to be at the scene, should be regarded as unauthorized persons. Probably no other aspect of homicide investigation is more open to the error and the preservation and protection of the crime scene. The first official acts at the crime scene will either help to bring the investigation to a successful conclusion, or it will negatively affect both the entire investigation and eventual prosecution of the case. Therefore, it is inconvenient that the officer arriving at the scene perform the first and necessary aspect of the investigation. Safeguard location as quickly and efficiently as possible. The first police official to arrive at the crime scene is usually the patrol officer. The agency's primary crime fighting tool is expected to respond immediately to any incident, whether